this episode of Finogric Machining we are going to clean up the spindle. So we are taking it apart, we are taking all the old grease off from there and then putting it together. That's the plan anyway. Yeah, so let's go on with that. Okay, so I already took this apart, and here you can see, and sorry about not showing that on the video, but I promise you I will show you when I put it together. So all those who have this type of milling machine and have this type of milling head on it, I think models 51, 52 and 53 all share this same type of head. So now it's, well, quite empty and there are some other parts, the bearings and some of the housing parts, yes. And we have in this jar we have the rest of the parts which are quite small. There are some springs, etc., which I don't want to lose, and therefore they are there. Okay, and then because there is a lot of this old grease there, we are going to tools, but we are going to use. Let me show you. Well, this is one. Normally in Finland these are used for washing your dishes, and then you are normally using that kind of thing to wash your babies, and then we take this fluffy towel to wipe the things out after rinsing with and well, somebody will start to scream now. I'm going to use gasoline for this one. Okay, I will now start cleaning first this part. This is the most horrible thing. There is a lot of grease inside it. You can see here, that's really full of that. It's like this, and well, I'm not sure whether this one should be lubricated with that. Because the oil channels go directly into the bearings, and that is designed in a way that from there the lubrication should go to all these parts by gravity, etc. And now when you are using grease, gravity doesn't impact on it. It will stay where it is put, and that's not a good idea here. So I start the cleanup process now. This one here, this is for clean parts, the baby doll. Then this one is to clean them up, and the dirty parts or the greasy parts are here. And now when dealing with solvents or gasoline, you shouldn't A, have nowhere open fire, not in the vicinity. You shouldn't be smoking or whatever. 2, you should be in a very well ventilated place, and having the door open to our yard here, well, I think this classified as a well ventilated place. So let's start. Let's take some of this gasoline. There you are. Actually, it doesn't remove all the grease, it just dilutes it. So, okay, I start washing and I speeded this up so you don't need to follow every step on the way. Okay, I'll start with the most delicate part. This is the spindle itself, most delicate because of the bearing here. Okay, let's start. Done. And this is our next part. It will go there, and then I start washing it. Okay, ready. Now let's put this together. First of all, there needs. I didn't take the bearing apart. I let it be there because this is probably needs some hydraulic press or something like that to get that off. So I'll let it be there. And then there is this spacer, and then comes the gear. But this gear. But you need to put it in advance here inside in a correct place, and then slide this very carefully in. And then we find out there is a marking, and now we put this. Why does everything need to be so tight in this thing? Okay, the tolerances are really like something. Okay, we are quite there, and now knock this in a little bit. I probably need to knock the gear as well. Yeah, I need. And this is hopefully okay. Yeah, it's far enough, so it came apart quite a lot easier. Okay, we have still some, okay, not much to go at the moment, but we need to knock this in more. Baby steps. And now again the gear. This is starting to be too short. I need to get a longer one. This. Yeah, okay. Is there a... No, I don't want to do that. Okay, then we use this. How much? Not much more. So then we can push it with the bearing system. Okay. And now this one again. Okay. Let's see how it looks. Yeah. And there is the marking exactly on the center. Now when I put the set screw there, it should go there. And now we need to knock this this gear all the way down. Okay, let's try this. I think we are now facing the spacer. Okay, and then now that we have the gear in place with the aluminum chips there, so then we have this kind of a spacer, and from the markings I can tell that it was this way there. So it goes like that. There you are. And then we need the bearing. This one. And this was a little bit... this was not actually tight. It goes by finger. Okay. Now we are not quite there yet. We need this one there, That's part of the protection system. And then we need this, which is the lock ring, and this goes only one way in, like that. And then we need a nut, like that. Yeah. And now, with this nut, we tighten this. Okay, and now, of course, this isn't. This has a horrible play. And now we need to. And this is something because I don't have the tool to do this, so I have to be knocking, but really carefully. And I'm using the inertia of this whole system, so when I knock, and please notice I'm not using heavy knocks. I could actually use this, would be a lot better, because yeah, the knocks are sharper, and this doesn't harm our, oh yeah, we have a lot to go here, so I think I can turn this just like, no I can't, okay. Well, I come back, I do off the camera the tightening. I come back when we are in a more critical phase. Okay, now we have taken all the play off there, but it's still turning really freely. And I have also, what I have done, I have oiled the bearings. This is gear oil, very sticky stuff, but it's oil, not grease. So, now I will tighten it up until it starts to feel tight, and after that a quarter turn back. Oh, that's not tightening, that's loosening. Now it's really tight. So this is too tight. I can feel it, it's really tight. So we need to take a hair back, and now I will look into there. Let's see, a little bit back. So, yeah, there you are. And now we need to use one of those which is in a good place. The nearest one is that. Or we put a little bit tighter. So there you are. And now just put one of those, like locking this in place. There you are. Now it doesn't go nowhere. So I show you what I, oh, this is heavy stuff. So there you can see that notch there. It was the star formed thing. I bent it so that the nut is now locked into its place. Okay. So now this bearing should be really, well, when I have this is not a new bearing, so you have to be a little bit careful with this, but yeah, it's there. So now I can put the lock nut with the flat top goes to this side, and there you go. This is suitable wide. No, it's not. No, yeah, it is. No, it's not. We need another type of tool here. So now screw this in just a little bit, so that's there. And then the last piece will be this cover, which comes here, and it's just like that. It goes in really easily, but let me see if you have, no, it is there, and now it should be there, yeah. And then this point, not screw, set screw goes here. We have still two things to do here, and it is these empty holes here. And they belong to these are not greys, these are oil nipples. Ready to rock and roll. This is what we are going to do in the next episode, and there is some grease, as you can see.